It was before dawn, just after 6 a.m., snow blanketing the road, a cold hush hanging over the highway. The kind of morning when most people wish only for warmth and a smooth drive, but this morning, everything changed in a heartbeat. If you follow this story, you'll see how a routine cargo run turned into what many are calling a miracle rescue. You'll learn how danger, desperation, and human bravery collided on a snow-covered bridge. You'll see what it really means when a single mistake meets extreme weather, and how sometimes survival depends on nothing but steel cables and a calm voice echoing in darkness. The truck, a heavy tractor-trailer loaded with bricks, was traveling along U.S. Route 35 in Mason County, West Virginia. Snow and ice from a recent storm had turned the road into a slick, unforgiving surface, not unusual for a December morning, but treacherous enough for seasoned drivers to tighten their grip on the wheel. Inside the cab, the driver, just another face in a long line of truckers hauling cargo across winter highways, probably thought of home, of the load he was delivering, maybe nothing more than the next stop. He had done this run before, maybe dozens of times, and didn't expect anything out of the ordinary, but fate had other plans. At roughly 6:25 a.m., the trailer lost traction on the icy lane. According to reports, the heavy load of bricks kept the trailer from tipping completely, but that same load sealed a terrifying fate for the cab. The cab smashed through the concrete barrier of the breach and ended up suspended over the side, hanging dozens of feet above the ground, nearly 100 feet according to some onlookers. Emergency calls went out instantly. The highway, normally a path for commerce and commuting, turned into a scene of horror. Diesel spilled on the slick road surface. Emergency crews struggled with how to approach a hanging, unstable vehicle, and the driver remained pinned inside the cab as the trailer lurched over emptiness. Bystanders and fellow motorists stopped. Some recorded video, some stared in disbelief. Many prayed. No one knew if the truck would fall, or the man inside would make it out alive. Rescue teams from multiple departments converged: local fire departments, emergency management teams, rescue specialists. They stabilized the scene by anchoring to heavy wrecker trucks. One used as a fixed anchor on the bridge, the other tethered to the trailer, trying to make sure the whole rig wouldn't slip further off. The drop. Then came the most harrowing part. A volunteer firefighter, identified as Wesley Quinn, was lowered over the edge by rope, descending toward the dangling cab, snow swirling around him. Cold wind biting, danger everywhere. Inside, the driver was scared, shaken, maybe recoiling from what he saw when he looked into the void below. But Quinn spoke to him, tried to calm him. "Stay with me. I'm here," he said, slipping a safety harness on the man, making the thin line between life and death seem real and fragile. For 5, maybe 5.5 hours, the driver hung above the abyss, trapped between a trailer full of bricks and a drop that would kill without a second chance. Once the harness was secured around the driver, the team worked carefully, hoisting both firefighter and driver upward, inch by inch, against gravity, against fear, against the snow-slicked air. When they finally broke through the edge of the bridge, steps onto solid ground, the spectators, bystanders, responding crews erupted. Relief, disbelief, gratitude, the kind of collective gasp that comes when someone returns from a place no one else should survive. The driver emerged shaken, drenched, but alive. No major injuries reported, no immediate harm, just a man who should be dead, but wasn't. He was carried away by EMS, while investigators and crews began cleaning up, rerouting traffic, and securing the scene. The bridge on US 35 was closed for hours. In the days after, the story spread fast. People called it a miracle, a narrow escape, a reminder of how dangerous winter driving can be, especially for heavy vehicles. Some pointed to the heavy cargo, bricks, saying its weight prevented the trailer from tipping fully, possibly saving the driver's life. Others lauded the quick coordination between multiple fire and rescue departments, the calm courage of the rescuer rappelling into the unknown. But many asked, what if the load had been lighter? What if the weather had been worse? What if the cables failed? Or the harness slipped? It's a sobering reminder. Sometimes survival means more than luck. It means coordination, training, and a little bit of fate. As the first light of dawn broke over Mason County the next morning, the highway was quiet again, the snow beginning to melt, the trucks moving slowly over US 35. Life continued. But for the driver, anonymous to most but real to those who pulled him from that dangling cab, everything changed. He got a second chance at life. a second chance to drive again, to see his family, to realize that sometimes the everyday roads we take for granted hide dangers we can only hope to survive. And now I ask you, if you were that driver, staring down a 100-foot drop with nothing but a thin harness and hope, would you freeze in fear, or would you hold on tight to every second, every breath, every rope above you, and fight for survival? Because sometimes, the line between living and falling is thinner than we imagine.